You probably heard about the Court of Appeals in New York State ruling that the fine put on Donald Trump by Letitia James and Arthur Engoron has been reduced to $175 million. That's a big win for Trump. And also the NBC News article I read about it said that all of those judges had been appointed by Democratic governors. That's pretty standard that they would say like who appointed them, which is hilarious to me because do you remember before the 2016 election, he said, well, this judge is biased because he was appointed by Obama. And then Justice Roberts spoke up to the media and said, we don't do that. We don't talk about whether people are going to make a decision based on who appointed them. Well, now guess what? The media does it every single time there's an article. The Court of Appeals in New York State has put a 10-day stay on the judgment by Judge Arthur Engoron that Trump overvalued his buildings, which is completely subjective, as we know. Yes, 10-day stay and reduced the fine to $175 million. And that's a lot. That's a big reduction. It might be, let's see, it's not half, it's maybe a third. And it's a Monday morning decision, just like when the Supreme Court said that nobody could take him off the ballot. So, I like these Monday morning decisions. Kind of gives you a jolt, you know? I mean, look, I don't think you can really judge a judge and what they're going to do based on who appointed them. Because right now, everyone, as I always say, is going to have the opportunity to decide what they're going to do, who they will align with, what they will talk about. Will they talk about everything that they know is true? Depends. It depends on if we reach critical mass. I also saw, you might want to look into this, in the Georgia case, there was an affidavit for someone who worked in the election process in Fulton County. They said 175,000 ballots were never signature verified. Every voting precinct makes a little bit different rules. I get why the states regulate the voting. It's really a patchwork, as is vetting registered voters. If you got our man inside, you know, it's a problem. Like Chris Cuomo, he was talking on the PDB podcast and he was like, you know, everybody's saying, you think black people can't get an ID? Like, are you serious? Voting's like the only thing you don't need an ID for at this point. It's a joke. And then this is Chris Cuomo's logic. He's like, well, I mean, if you look at the states that have voter ID and the states that don't have voter ID, there's no less, you know, there's no fraud in the ones that don't have it. It's like, so they tell you, you know? So this is, it's going to be interesting. But that kind of logic, it's not logic at all. It's very serpentine, very coming from sideways, you know? And anyway, that's another development, was that affidavit I wanted to tell you about. And then, of course, the decision by a state appeals court, appellate division in New York State, all of the judges appointed by Democrat governors, right? Because they're state judges, putting a 10-day stay on the entire judgment, which includes the judgment that he can't do business in New York for like, I don't know, was it 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? I don't know. Do we have, you know, take your pick with the draconian Ms. James. Now, you know what Draco was? Draco was a Greek ruler who imposed severe punishments. And so his name became synonymous with completely out of line and off scale punishments that don't fit the crime. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for joining. And I look forward to seeing your comments and reading them. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay. Keep calm and share complete facts. Bye.